Heart pieces have always been aplenty, but every Zelda manages to pack a few that stick out above the rest. Luckily, exploration is the name of the game.
Actually, it's Ocarina of Time.
Actually, you're fired. But Ocarina of Time is a great starting point. With 36 heart pieces to find spread across this iconic land, there were bound to be some real doozies, but which wound up being the hardest? Let's take a look at our top picks.
The first piece we're looking at today is the Dampé Grave Race. It's just like the original race to get the hook shot, but with a relatively strict time limit attached.
With a flat minute to get through, a single slip-up will be the difference maker. It's certainly not impossible to complete without memorizing the route, but it definitely makes it far easier. Dodging Dampé's fire isn't always an easy feat while doing everything you can to keep pace, but fortunately, the final outside loop can be skipped entirely by using the long shot to grab the end torch. A very nice touch since the hookshot is the original award for completing the base race.
While quite difficult, the Dampé race is also definitely the fairest challenge here that we're going to talk about today. Unfortunately, our next heart piece sits far on the opposite end of the fairness spectrum.
You might be able to stake the claim that catching a real 10-pound fish would be easier than catching the prize-winning fish in Ocarina of Time, and honestly, some players might believe you. While you could go into this thinking there are a few of these suckers waiting for you in the pond, you'll be disappointed to find out there's only one piece of heart-wielding fish waiting for you to catch it.
Plus, even if you could go out and catch a 10-pound fish in real life, you have to consider that young Link is like 5 years old. Could you catch a 10-pound fish as a 5-year-old version of yourself with a fishing rod twice as tall as you are?
Pretty sure young Link is older than that. But besides that, even once you're able to find the fish and secure it on your line, there's no guarantee you'll be walking away with the prize in hand. Hell, there's a great chance you'll get locked into the ultimate stalemate with this massive sea dweller, inches away from your grasp, but never within reach.
Honestly, this minigame ends up feeling tedious and time-consuming, rather than just raw difficulty. The game doesn't give you much in terms of how to more accurately reel in the fish, so you either have to have learned from somebody else, or finagled with the limited controls until you found a rhythm that worked for you. Despite what the game wants you to believe, it's not how big the rod is, but how you use it.
Incredible. So you still managed to fit your brand of humor into a video about catching fish. Are you happy with yourself?
I'd be happier if we were allowed to use the sinking lure. You know, it's so much easier to get the big one when you can go a little deeper.
Doesn't that contradict your original joke?
Absolutely. Now, my hilarious comedy aside, do you want to talk about something that's hard and appropriate? The archery game in Gerudo Valley winds up being a surprising delight and change of pace from the rest of Ocarina of Time, as it really puts your skills to the test after you've had a whole game to practice them. Now, obviously, you have to enjoy pain, suffering, and enduring trials and tribulations repeatedly on end to enjoy this minigame, but it's still a change of pace nonetheless.
It's not easy. Once you get the rhythm, you'll find yourself earning decent points early on, breaking all the pots. But once you're forced to shoot the high targets for at least 3 bullseyes to finally break through 1,000 points, you'll find the limited arrow count can really hold you back if you're not able to line up your shots as opponent guides you through this fast-paced corridor.
This honestly could have been one of the last ones we discussed today, but we're lucky this video is about pieces of heart. The upgraded quiver, one of the best ammo upgrades in the game, is locked behind getting 1,500 points in this minigame. That is 7 broken pots and 8 bullseye shots.
As you said, lucky we don't have to go through that pain. Today we're focusing on the toughest of the tough when it comes to collecting pieces of heart. And this next one, it's a real doozy. Throwing a bomb into the Goron pot sucks. Throwing bombs is too hard, and I'm a baby gamer that can't do anything good or right in the world, and now I die. Bleh.
My 30-year-old adolescent gamer partner aside,
I am not 30!
This really isn't that difficult, and yet, I can't think of a single playthrough that I've managed to sink the shot on the first try. It's obviously easier if you have the bomb bag, but why wait that long? Bomb flowers are ripe and ready to help you blow up some ancient Goron artifact. Patience is for suckers. Why wait to be rewarded later when I can be rewarded today?
Because I'm gonna miss and inevitably blow up some Goron bystanders?
Oh, well, you are getting old. You need to get your eyes checked out. Maybe some new lenses. Speaking of...
Ian, what is the treasure chest shop doing here? It's super easy!
Okay, yes, normally, but If you complete it without the Lens of Truth, it actually becomes incredibly difficult. At 10 rupees a pop and only a 1 in 32 chance of successfully reaching the end, if you grind this one out when you reach Castletown, it is definitely, for sure, one of the hardest.
So why wouldn't you just wait to get the Lens of Truth?
I didn't know about it yet, okay? I thought every game in the Castle Square was bonkers hard. And can you blame me?
I suppose not, because the Bomb Chew minigame is such a seemingly innocuous challenge, but once you try it, it quickly becomes clear that this thing is a nightmare.
Awkward target placements and numerous obstacles that have to be taken into consideration, combined with the already finicky to use bomb chews, makes this an exercise in frustration that feels like you're just throwing bombs at the wall until they happen to land.
Trying to actually improve your skills at this game is honestly less effective than just laying and praying, and that makes this a pretty poor minigame overall. Combine that with the fact that the reward is only known after you pay, with an 80% chance of not being the heart piece at all, means this is easily the hardest heart piece in the game. Well, there you go. The hardest heart pieces have been determined. Any final thoughts, Ian?
The treasure chest shop is practically impossible.
No, it's not. You were just a dumb kid. But ignore Ian. What do you think? Did you have any pieces of heart that gave you more of a challenge? Let us know which was the most difficult for you.
If you liked our voices and or opinions, we've also ranked all of the worlds and a few other Nintendo 64 classics. Consider checking them out. More than anything else, thank you so much for watching.